back to the BTS Happy Hour podcast. I'm your host, Andrea. With me as always is Morgan.
Hey, what's up?
Biggest news story right now is still coronavirus, which is still a problem in Asia, mostly China and South Korea.
It's a problem for everybody.
And I wish it wasn't. I wish they would kind of get it resolved, but that's not happening yet. And as we heard last week, BTS canceled their Seoul concerts, but also a lot of other things are being canceled that are happening in Asia that are kind of taking a toll on the whole K-pop industry.
Right.
And I don't know if I should be worried about that or if that...
As far as it being canceling stuff here?
No, as far as like affecting their livelihood. You know, like these groups, like they need to promote their albums. They need to be out there.
No, I don't think you have to be that worried about that.
And normally I don't think a virus lasts that long. Like it has a time where people get infected and then it kind of dies out. And I'm expecting that to happen pretty soon.
It'll be fine.
But it looks like, so BTS canceled their Seoul concerts, there were 4 of them that were going to be in April. And we understood why that happened because, partially to contain any spread of people gathering in an area, but also maybe they couldn't get all the staff that they needed that had to be there. And then they also, that same staff would have to go to the U.S. right after.
Right.
And so maybe they can't do all that traveling. But also, some other groups that canceled some things. There's a Twice concert that was canceled. G-Idol album release and world tour is either delayed or canceled. And GOT7 and Taeyeon and Kim Sung-yu from Infinite Taiwan shows and some other groups that had Japan tours. All of those got delayed or canceled. So
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
I mean, people are losing money, and some of these companies are kind of small, so I don't know.
Yeah, true. Some of them can't absorb this sort of thing. As far as the virus goes, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I mean, people are going nuts here. People are like they're emptying out the supermarket of everything.
People are being ridiculous. Like
the real danger is shortages due to irrational panic.
Yeah, it's like hardly anyone has a serious case here and has died, but you can't go and you can't buy toilet paper anymore because it's like off
why
the shelves.
Why are you guys hoarding toilet paper?
It's like stop.
Why are you hoarding toilet paper? If the world ends, guess what? Toilet paper is the least of your concerns, right? You need food, you need water, you need protection, you need medicine if you are on medication. That's about what you need. Toilet paper is way down the list, and people are hoarding it. I don't understand why people are hoarding toilet paper. You guys,
I don't know where you're listening from, but we're in California.
It's because they see toilet paper is out, and they think, well, I better buy a bunch.
We're in California, and so maybe there's some more cases than other parts of the country, but people are just really behaving ridiculous here. And maybe, hopefully you're in a state that's sane and you're listening to this, but it's like in California, people are like, they're buying all this stuff. You don't need to buy it.
If you're in a state that has not had shortages or whatever, you should probably think about not acting crazy like them, but just stocking up on maybe canned goods and non-perishable food.
I think people in other states, they are already aware of stuff like that because they'll have like extreme weather. So sometimes your state will have a hurricane or whatever. And like California doesn't have that, so we don't know how to be prepared.
It doesn't need to last that long. Maybe a month or something. What is the virus going to do? You just have to be quarantined to your house. It just means you can't go out and get food or whatever.
That's all that's happening.
If you have a bag of rice, you'll survive. Literally.
You just
go out and buy a gigantic bag of rice, and you will live. Will it be fun to eat rice for a month if it comes to that? No, but you'll live. And if you ask me, well, what if I don't have water, and what if power goes out? If you don't have water and you don't have power, the country's in a lot worse shape. You have bigger problems.
Well, then you got to worry about looting and like people trying to like invade your house.
Then you probably need guns is what you need if it's going to be like that for a prolonged period. So exercise your Second Amendment right. But it's not going to come to that. It's just a virus.
It's like all that's happened so far is like a couple of people here and there have died from it. It's not more than the regular flu.
Yeah, and the mortality rate, it's going down all the time. Here's how it works, okay? Certain people die, and they've been diagnosed. And the number of diagnosed people, they just Well, they say, well, we have 1,000 diagnosed people and 5 people died, and therefore, whatever, what is that? 0.5% of people died, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with this kind of thing, more than 1,000 people actually have it. They just didn't report it, right? Or they weren't diagnosed with it.
Yeah.
Because it reads like a flu. So I guarantee you way more people have it than have been diagnosed or reported.
Yeah, than officially
right.
diagnosed by a hospital. There's
but
more
the number of people who are dying is accurate. Because when people die, that's alarming.
Yeah, and they test you for it, I'm sure.
When you die, the state really is interested in knowing why you died. So they'll say, did you die from the flu? Did you die of old age? Did you die of a gunshot? They really want to know, okay? And so the number of deaths is probably accurate. But the number of diagnosed, I think, is much lower than the reality. So therefore, the mortality rate is better than you think. So even if you get it, not that it's going to be pleasant or whatever, it's going to be like a severe flu, right?
Right.
And that's not even anything new. Like a quote-unquote coronavirus is not some kind of newfangled thing. It's existed for years and years and years. It's just this particular strain of it. People think are more serious.
You know what's funny? I only know about coronavirus. Before this all happened, I knew what it was, but it was in relation to veterinary stuff because that would be something that dogs could possibly get.
I see. Well, yeah, so it's been a thing. It's just this particular strain people thought was more serious, but perhaps is not as serious as they thought. It's not going to be like a mortality rate of 3% or whatever. That appears to be overblown. So.
And I know the media, you have to have a story to write about. You have to talk about something on the nightly local news. And I normally wouldn't even care about that. But they're starting to cancel things. And
right. We're in danger of canceling the BTS concert.
That is unacceptable. Just from panic. I don't care about panic normally. But if you're going to threaten something that I'm going to go to, that a lot of people are excited for, that's ridiculous. So
you'll raise hell, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm going to call my congressman and do all, annoy some people if something happens.
That would be terrible if we were inconvenienced in any way. I'm willing to take that risk.
I honestly don't even care if, some people or all of the people in Levi Stadium have coronavirus.
Yeah.
I'll take my chances. I don't care.
We'll get one of those masks.
Yeah. I mean, most people that are going, I'm sure have a good enough immune system. It's not going to kill anybody. And it's not that fatal. Like you said, the mortality rate is low. So I just really don't think they're going to cancel it just because of how much money is involved. Yeah. How many refunds would you have to do? And how much money would Big Hit lose? And all these companies that are invested in that, how much money would they lose?
Right.
I think they would be really, really hesitant to cancel it. But you never know. It's some people are
How would
paranoid.
the refund work with the tickets I bought and resold?
Yeah.
Would they refund me?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Would they refund me? Or would they refund the people? Because the people who bought it from me paid a higher price. But they're not going to refund that price. How's that going to work?
I don't know how that works.
Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe I should look into that. Anyway, I don't think so. And I hope not. I don't think it'll be canceled, but...
I do see that there's something called the Korean Times Music Festival that was going to have a concert on. That was going to be at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles. That has been postponed or canceled. But I don't know how big this was going to be. But it said it was going to have Momoland and a 101 person at this concert. But I don't know if that's such a big thing. But it looks like, things in LA, they're being canceled. So and
KCON
that's a concern. Too. Yeah, KCON was canceled.
KCON is not canceled. Who said KCON's canceled?
One of them was canceled. I think the Japan one.
Japan. Not any of the American ones.
Yeah, not yet.
Well, that would be terrible. But I can see why Korean things they have a much higher incidence of this. There's more of it there, right? But things are being canceled. Like Seattle Comic-Con was canceled. You just have to cross your fingers, I guess. Wow. That would be terrible.
Yeah, and Santa Clara, that's not in LA, so they haven't done anything yet. But some of the people in charge over there are talking about, we're discussing canceling big events. Don't even talk about it. It's what are you talking about? Stop. There's, I think, 20 people in Santa Clara County that have coronavirus. But it's
No
like,
big deal. 20.
yeah, it's like, that's not that many people. There's just millions of people
Put 'em
are
in
in
the
that
hospital.
area. That's like Silicon Valley. It's like, are you sure you really want to cancel something that a lot
Yeah.
of people are going to go to? It's like, don't do that. Like, you better be serious. Like, if I have to go and wear like a hazmat suit, it's like, okay, who cares? And I mean, why don't they just have the concert? And it's like, okay, go at your own risk. And like, okay, if you want a refund, then we'll
Well,
give
I
you
mean,
a
at your
refund.
own risk, yeah, everybody will still go.
Yeah.
But then they don't want to create a public health hazard if that's what they're doing. You know, it is, well,
Well, the thing is, the U.S. it's not as bad here. Like in Asia, it seems to spread faster. So,
not yet.
I just
at
don't
least.
think it's such a risk. And
Our population density is not the same, too. So it should, I'm hoping it'll be okay. I mean, if you're not going to have these events, then what are we doing? Not living life? We still go to work.
yeah, exactly.
Like, if you're going to cancel this, then at least do me the favor of canceling all of our work. So I can just, like, work from home or something.
On the plus side, they haven't closed down airports. They haven't closed down
Right.
any schools. So, like, all of those places are huge gathering places for people. So if they were really worried about it, they would. It's like, okay, close the schools, close the airports. They're not doing any of that. So I kind of feel okay right now about not canceling the.
And this is a gigantic economic boon to the area. So they would probably be hesitant to cancel this. It's not like school is an economic boon to anything, right? So maybe they'd be more willing to cancel that. But BTS concert is only going to come up. This is the one shot you've got.
Yeah.
And if canceling this is damaging the economy, that will move the needle, I think, for decision makers. So hopefully they don't. This is all in self-interest. We just don't want them to cancel it.
Yeah.
I would be really pissed off. Can you imagine if they canceled it? How pissed off you would be?
And I feel bad for the Seoul people, but it's like, okay, BTS lives there, so they could probably reschedule that at any time
Correct.
later on. So they'll be okay. Like, they can see BTS like all the time. It's like, we're going to see them like, once a year, once every
That's
other
right.
year. So
That's
it's
right.
like, this concert needs to happen.
That's right. So I don't feel too bad about them, but we're crossing our fingers as far as Santa Clara is concerned. And unfortunately, the West Coast, California, has more travel with Asia. So
yeah.
we are more impacted than, let's say, Orlando. I'm sure Orlando is safe. So if you got a ticket to Orlando, you're fine.
I wonder if
Or Dallas. I'm sure it's fine.
I wonder if BTS will like head out to the U.S. maybe earlier than they plan to, because I don't know what kind of restrictions they might have, but maybe it'd be better to like leave South Korea earlier and just like
Right, so there's no ban.
be settled over here,
Yeah.
right before their tour starts.
So they won't prevent them from entering the country.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I wonder if that's on the table.
I mean, they have to enter it soon anyway, right? When's the first concert?
yeah, end of April. So
That's
and
not
it's
that far
already
away.
yeah, it's already March. So
They may as well come over here now, enjoy the LA weather. So it is what it is. Hopefully the economics of the situation sway people. I'm sure the people are going to show up.
yeah,
For the amount that people have paid, they're going to show up. We're just going to all have masks on.
yeah.
If they're even available. I don't even care. The masks don't really help, by the way. They don't even really
It's just
help.
something that makes you feel better.
Yeah, they don't really help. Unless they're like full, like like you said, a hazmat suit. It's not going to do anything.
Because a virus is very small, so it can
So just,
travel in the air.
wash your hands. If somebody's coughing a lot, like walk in the other direction. Oh, I guess you can't at a concert. But, I'm still going to go.
Yeah, I'll take my chances.
I'll take my chances.
I
Even
don't
if
care.
even if I get it, I probably won't die. So
If the person next to me is like coughing, it's like, okay, well, whatever. We're
Yeah.
all here.
it couldn't be worse than the sickness I had for January to open this goddamn year, which I still think was coronavirus. Hey, people, they said more people have had it than have been diagnosed. I didn't bother to test myself.
Yeah.
Bet you anything I had it.
Yeah, and
I probably have an immunity.
hardly anyone tests themselves
Yeah,
because they're like, oh, well, I just had the flu,
Mm-hmm.
so whatever.
that's what I thought. I had the flu. I probably had coronavirus.
Isn't it funny how Chunga was in Italy and came
Yeah, she
back,
spreaded it to them.
and like two of her staff
And now all
had
of
it.
Italy has it.
It's like, wait a second, what? Now it's like spreading like crazy in Italy.
Yep, that's right.
It's like you're not making Asians look good. It's like spreading coronavirus everywhere. It's like that Howard Stern, staffer
Hey, you know
thought.
what? Now,
He's
now
like
that justifies that.
He's vindicated.
It vindicates him because look at this. Chang'e's staff, they infected the entire country of Italy. That guy is vindicated. Please don't call him racist. He's been vindicated. There you go.
I did find it like such a big coincidence. Like her staff, a couple of them had it, and Italy, it's like spreading now.
Now Italy has it. Come on.
It's like, why would Italy wouldn't just have it out of nowhere?
Did her staff catch it from Italians, or did Italians catch it from them? Use your brain.
Yeah.
They caught it from them, most likely.
On March 4th, we all got a surprise notification about Black Swan official video being uploaded to YouTube, which no one was expecting. And I'm surprised that they did that with no announcement ahead of time. But it was a really good video. It looked very much in the theme of the song. It was like took place in a theater. They filmed that in a Broadway theater district in Los Angeles. So this is
okay. I was wondering.
This is something that they filmed during that long period of time during the Grammys that they were in the U.S. and we didn't know what they were doing, but they apparently were working on many things during that time. They were filming this. They were filming the On official video and the Kinetic Manifesto.
Right.
That was all
like
happening.
America.
They were just
It was a great video.
filming everything that week. And
Right. It was a great video. It's weird that they're releasing videos just left and right, but hey, they want to spend the money on it, and if it's not taking away from future releases, that's fine.
There's just so much content for this album.
Yeah.
And some people were thinking maybe it's because it was supposed to be split into 2 albums, and that's why, there's like double the videos and double everything, because maybe On was supposed to be the title of one album and then Black Swan was the title track of the other album, but they just combined them, so then now there's just even more videos right now.
Right.
But I haven't followed BTS for that many comebacks, so I don't know if this is normal or not normal.
I don't think it's normal.
It does seem like a lot.
4 videos in a short period of time.
It does seem...
doesn't seem normal, but I mean, they're flush with money, and they're able to make all these videos, so just consume it, be thankful for it. It's a great video. I mean, there's not much to say about it. It's very similar to the actual performance. I was wondering where it was. It's in an LA theater, you say?
Yeah, in a Broadway theater, so someplace where they, have plays and...
It did have a very American look.
Yeah.
From the 30s or something.
And it definitely had influences from Black Swan, the movie, because in this video you could really see it, because there were scenes where it's like Jin's looking in the mirror and, the mirror doesn't look exactly like what's the reflection.
It's a good video. I think it's better than the video that they're not in.
The one with the dancers.
Yeah. And in fact, that one seems kind of, redundant now, honestly.
Yeah, a little bit.
Ever watch that one, yeah.
But maybe they wanted that as like pre-promotion.
Yeah.
Or and like to also connect everything to connect BTS. But yeah, I much prefer videos that they're in.
I think most people do. Yeah, it was a good video and a nice surprise. The only concern is, are you, blowing all your resources releasing it too fast? But it just seems like they have a lot of resources and they did a lot of stuff, so you do not have to worry about that. It's just they have a lot of content. It's not a problem. That's another thing. More content is not bad.
Like, if you're BTS ARMY, you kind of get used to this, but it's just, there's nonstop content. Like, every day there's something, and you just...
I wouldn't say it every day.
Get used to that. No, there's, like, videos. There's something on YouTube. There's, Bangtan bombs. There's somebody posted on Weaver. Somebody tweeted something. Somebody's on V Live. Like, there's something, like, going on all the time, and it's like a Run BTS episode. There's a lot of things to keep up with.
I don't know about you consider that content. I just consider videos content.
There's so much.
I don't consider V Live and Bangtan and Weavers or whatever.
Well, that's YouTube stuff.
I still don't consider it content. I mean, but I guess it is to fans. It's a good video, and hopefully they have maybe 3 or 4, which is unheard of for one album. But maybe they have 3 more for this album. That would be good.
Yeah, I think normally K-pop groups they'll have the title track as a video, 2. And not have too many. But I think if
they're expensive, videos are expensive. Yeah. But Big Hit has the money, and if this is the album that happens before they enlist, I'm thinking that they're all going to enlist at the same time. Because recently I found out it's only 18 months. It's only 18 months. They should totally all just go for 18 months. That is nothing. 18 months is nothing. That's a year and a half. All the music can be written in that time. They can just, go do their army stuff.
Like, if their plan is to go right after this album or right after this tour, then everything kind of makes sense. Like, I hope that's not true, but it kind of makes sense why they're doing so much right now and why things have a certain tone. It kind of seems like this is kind of an ending point, like we are bulletproof, the eternal. Like, it kind of seems like a goodbye for a short time, but I mean, I hope not.
It's not even a short time. I mean, a year and a half. Honestly, it's just, I mean, if you're a K-pop fan, I understand. That seems like a long time, but really, it's not. It's not.
I wonder if maybe this is after their tour would be a good time to go, because then maybe they would shorten it, the government. They'd be like, well, we need you guys to come back because the economy's not doing so great because of coronavirus.
Right. I know you're holding out hope for that.
Well, the reason I say that is because some people that were serving right now, like, their time was shortened because of coronavirus.
Why?
Because they didn't want it to spread in the military, like all the people in the barracks or whatever. So,
what?
But
so they just send people home?
Yeah, they're like, okay, you're done. So some people who were idols came back. So that was a story.
Oh.
So their time was, I don't know how much less, but it seems like if there's outside things going on, they might adjust your time. It just depends. But if BTS enlisted, I think their reason would be different. It would be like, we need you guys back and boosting the economy again. Because by that time, it's like coronavirus is over.
Right. Theoretically, maybe it's never going to be over. It's just going to be like a recurring thing like the flu. There's not like one virus that's the flu, and coronavirus will just sort of like slot itself into this mix. And if it looks sort of like a flu and the mortality rate is similar, then that's just what it's going to be considered, just another flu. That's just the way it's going to be. Just like there's a lot of different kind of things that are quote unquote the flu. Oh, since last week I looked up something and I made a mistake. You know how we were talking about the Maze Runner and people referencing the Maze Runner and thinking that, this video is a reference of the Maze Runner, and we're talking about the Maze Runner?
Yeah.
I was talking about it and I actually confused the Maze Runner with Divergent.
Oh, what's the difference?
It's better that you don't know the difference, but they're both really shit movies based on YA fiction, young adult fiction, and they're both really crappy movies. But I was thinking of Divergent.
Oh, okay.
When we're talking about the Maze Runner. They're very similar, but they're actually different movies. I just want to put that out there. I was confusing the two. And you know what? I'm proud that I confused the two. Because you know why? Because that means I didn't waste precious space in my brain to remember the difference between Divergent and the Maze Runner. Both totally garbage.
I couldn't tell you the difference. Except that Divergent has Shailene Woodley.
And Maze Runner doesn't. And please don't look up who is in Maze Runner, because then it will take a precious space in your brain. There's a famous Einstein anecdote, Albert Einstein, for you kids out there. Oh, kids know who he is. And I don't know if this is apocryphal or not. A lot of things are when it comes to him. But somebody once asked him what his phone number was. And you know what Einstein did? He picked up a phone book and looked it up. And then they said, you're one of the smartest people on earth. Why did you have to look up your phone number? And he said, why would I waste space in my brain for my phone number when it's in the phone book? I could easily look it up, right? I'm like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. But that's how I view crap like Divergent and the Maze Runner.
It's probably good you can't go on at length about the differences between the two.
And I just confuse them. That just means it's not occupying space in my brain. So I'm actually proud. I'm like Einstein, about 70 IQ points below him. But anyway, the point is the same. Oh, I just realized something. For a lot of the people listening, if you're like 22 or younger, you probably don't even remember. Hey, listen, we used to memorize phone numbers. Remember this? You used to memorize a phone number. There's a lot of people who've never memorized a phone number. There's a lot of people alive right now, adults even, who have never memorized a phone number. I have, though. And you know what? It's pointless. It's pointless. Because your phone memorizes it now. Or you can just look it up. Why do you have to memorize it? Although there was that one time that I lost my phone and somebody said, hey, can you call someone you know? And I said, no, I can't.
You can't really look it up anymore, though.
Yeah.
Because people
Right.
don't bother
Right.
being in a phone book. And cell phones aren't in a phone book.
Right. And then I was kind of stuck. And I said, no, I can't. Can I log into your computer and log into my Facebook? Because the person's on my Facebook. I don't know. But the point is, don't waste space in your brain. It's limited. I think it's limited. I don't know. I'm not a neuroscientist.
You know what? On
But I wanted to acknowledge that I mixed those two up.
On was not inspired by either one of those.
It wasn't. There's no goddamn way. And no, I'm not going to watch them or look into it any deeper than that, because then I run the risk of that stuff sticking in my head. And no, I won't.
And then there were some fans of this group NCT 127 that kind of got mad because Black Swan video was dropped
Oh, yeah, I dropped on the same day.
the same day as
Well,
their,
you know,
their video.
I saw the NCT video. I'm just going to be blunt here. It sucked. So it's not really any loss. It was terrible. The song was... Well, no, the video wasn't that bad. The video had some... It was interesting to look at. The song was bad, though. Forgettable.
I really don't think Big Hit was considering other artists. They were just
And
like...
why should they? Why should they?
Yeah, they were just like, this is when we're putting out our
Yeah.
video. We just decided.
What is this? They don't have to consider when your stuff is releasing. Why? That's just fan talk.
I do wonder why there was no announcement or there no forewarning or anything like that, or
No, that is a good question.
maybe they thought this would be create a lot of buzz, just like a sudden thing. You know how like Beyonce is like, oh, I have an album now, I'm secretly recording. Maybe they're
Maybe.
trying to do something
Maybe
like
they're trying that. Yeah.
trying to do the secret.
Right. And that is different because
Announcement.
K-pop usually has a trailer, a second trailer, a third trailer.
They tell you the
and like
date,
some kind of countdown.
teasers. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a lot of preparation.
Just so you know. Oh, that reminds me. There's like an ITZY video releasing right now.
But yeah, that's true because normally K-pop groups give you a lot of warning
Yeah.
for everything they're going to do. So that is different. So
Hey, you know, they probably made so many videos. They just said, let's try a different strategy.
they're probably like, oh yeah, we didn't promote this, but let's just release it anyway on the day that we were going to.
Like Beyonce tried this. Let's try this.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
We're trying to, this is what they do in the US, so maybe let's try it, something like that.
Right.
And I think in a way it kind of works because a lot of the fans were like, oh my god, what's going on? I didn't know there was a video. And then everybody's like watching it and everybody's
I think for them it worked.
sharing it.
But for a lot of people it wouldn't have. If you're big already, then it works.
You have to be a big artist
Yeah.
already for that to work.
Right.
The surprise thing. In the billboard topic, what did you want to talk about?
Oh, BTS tops Billboard? BTS, nothing.
Wait, I
The
thought you
Southern
said
woman?
that should be a topic.
Really?
You
Did
said
I?
you said that.
He's saying that maybe an alien
Look
possessed
in
me.
the messages.
Me
But
for
I
a
just wanted to
moment.
make sure what part of that you wanted to talk about because I don't not that familiar with Billboard.
It doesn't sound like me. I'm very curious. I'm looking through our message history right now. Make sure BTS Billboard. No, when I say BTS Billboard, I mean the billboard that we saw in San Francisco that you wanted to take a picture next to.
Oh. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I
That
see.
was ambiguous then.
I see.
So basically, listen up. We were in San Francisco, okay, having drinks with our friends. By the way, great time. San Francisco is our hometown, but we're not there all the time. So we had drinks, hit a lot of nice spots. The point is, when you're driving in to San Francisco, you see a certain number of billboards in that direction, right? When you're going down 101 off the Bay Bridge. But when you're leaving, you see a different set of billboards because, you know, it's the opposite direction. And when we were leaving, we saw a BTS Map of the Soul concert billboard, a big one. Well, they're all big. I mean, they're billboards, but they paid for a billboard.
No, it was huge. They painted the whole side of a building.
Yeah, going towards northeast. If we had known that existed, we would have gotten out and taken a picture next to it, or tried to take a picture next to it. It's a big, tall building, so I don't know how you do that. But anyway, that's really cool to know. They paid for that billboard. Probably a waste of money because Santa Clara sold out. I'm sure it didn't need the help of a billboard. It just makes me laugh. It's like, did you guys think you need to advertise your concert?
Like
That's really funny.
Everyone in San Francisco probably knows about BTS.
Yes, your concert sold out in a day. The billboard's a total waste of money, but it was cool to see.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And I wish I got a picture of it, but it was like we were driving by on the freeway and I was like,
Right.
there's BTS right there.
And we're there again, and it's still up.
Maybe they'll
We'll
leave
take
it
a
there.
picture of it.
Maybe they'll leave it there for a while because
Yeah.
the concert didn't happen yet.
Yeah.
So
It's sold out though, so I can imagine that they wouldn't bother paying for it continuously. But that's what I mean when I say the BTS Billboard. You interpret that as they've topped the Billboard charts, but I find that topic terribly boring. Of course they top the Billboard. Who cares? They top many charts. That's just a normal day and week at this point, right? They top charts.
I normally don't keep track of anything like that.
Yeah, and it's not like the Super Bowl where we're all very intimately familiar with, okay, there's one team that wins the Super Bowl every year. That team is the best football team. Who won the Super Bowl this year? When they say something like, you topped the Billboard charts, well, there's many different types of charts and many metrics and all this, and those words mean very little. So who cares? But the fact that we saw a physical billboard in San Francisco driving out of it, I think that's very cool. And I think that shows even more than their place on a chart where they're at. And it was really cool. It was just like the picture of Map of the Soul. It was the purplish one.
Yeah, with the reflection in the water and that picture. Yeah, I wish I got a picture of it, but it's like, damn it.
We'll get a picture of it and put it on Twitter.
Had I known it was there.
You get the picture. Very cool. Yeah, that's what I meant by billboard. Oh my God.
Yeah. Misunderstanding.
I don't care
over
to talk
social
about.
Media.
That's not our domain.
On March 6th, the new Lauv album came out, which I'm sure you're a big fan of Lauv.
No, I'm not.
No. But the only reason that's relevant to this BTS podcast is because he has a song with BTS. It's a song called Who.
Does it have a video? Is it out?
I don't think there's a video, but...
Oh. Is the song out?
The audio is out, yeah.
Oh, I didn't listen to it. Is it good?
It's a pretty good song. It has Lauv and Jungkook and Jimin mostly is what it sounds like.
Okay.
That's a pretty good song. It's kind of like a slower tempo.
This is a bad segment because I didn't even listen to it. I'm sorry. Well, it seems like they have a good relationship with this Lauv, and they made another song with him on his album. Yeah.
So they had he collaborated with Make It Right as a remix, and they did a song with him. So it's a pretty good partnership. Like anybody who teams up with them, it's good for both.
For them,
probably.
At this point, for him, they didn't get anything out of him. Like we established before, there's no like gigantic groundswell of Lauv fans who discovered BTS and was, oh, what's this BTS thing?
I don't know. You there must be some reason why they're working with.
Maybe they just like him.
Certain people.
Maybe they think he's talented. These are all fair reasons to collaborate with someone.
It doesn't have to be a strategic reason. Maybe they just like him as a person.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like
that's a fair reason to
a nice guy who's easy to work with.
That's a fair reason to collaborate with someone.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, hey, you have a equally large size audience.
It doesn't have to be a quid pro quo.
Right.
But yeah, the song was pretty good. I think the voices work well together.
Okay, that's good.
But
I guess I will listen to it at some point.
He's kind of like a male Halsey, I feel like.
Oh.
Like he has some good like soulful songs. It seems like
he does soulful music
and like writes his own songs, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he did something that was really different. I don't know. He had like clips of his, like before the album came out, he had all the clips of his songs, and then like the day before, you could unlock it if you go to his website. But it depends on where in the world you are, and you could only unlock a certain section, and it's different wherever you are in the world. So everybody's hearing like different parts of the same songs. So I was like, oh, that's a really interesting marketing strategy.
You hear like if you're based on region.
Yeah. Like if you could be in New Zealand, you could be in Canada, you could be in the UK.
That kind of sucks. What if you want to hear the song?
Well, then you got to like click on what everybody else is posting. So I think it's like the point of it is
so he only lets you hear like 30 seconds of the song?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just use a VPN, idiot.
He encourages you to engage with all the other people from other parts of the world, and it's like, oh, what part did you unlock? Let me hear that. You know, it's like everybody's sharing it on Twitter.
I know how to use a VPN though, so I can access all of it myself. You know what a VPN is, right? It just like dummies your position.
It's like when the Pokemon, remember you could be in like different parts of the world.
Okay, so remember like Pokemon Go? I've got to admit this right now because it's obviously, I was a Pokemon Go cheater. I was like picking up stuff in Japan. Well, we'll just leave it at that. I cheated it, okay? It's done. And you know how they say if you cheat, you're just cheating yourself? They're totally right, by the way. Because afterwards, I just quit because it was too easy. I just got a ton of like Gyarados and like I'm not gonna like go into it because like people don't if they don't play. I got all the most powerful good stuff because I cheated. Like, what is the point of it then? So I just quit.
Yeah, you weren't just finding Pokemon in your town.
Right.
You were like in Australia.
I was in Australia. There's a
all
good
these
spot in
different places.
Australia where you're walking around Sydney, and it had really good stuff. And that was the place I went to usually. I'm just telling you, there was an easy, and you didn't have to do it on your phone. You could do it on your computer, which made it a lot easier.
So I'm sure Lauv used some kind of similar programming because that's how it worked. Is like different areas in the world unlock different parts of the song. So that's how it worked.
Well, if I liked Lauv enough, I would have cheated to access all of them. But as the case is, I don't care about it at all. So I didn't. And is it all available now?
Yeah,
probably.
The whole album is out, so
anyway, you could have.
Isn't necessary. But the day before, if you wanted to
hear, you could have easily used a VPN to access all of it. Yeah, that's good. They collaborated with them. The song's not bad. That sounds great.
There's an ex-idol named Cheska who was on Twitch, and she was talking about, it was a live stream where it was like, ask me anything, so people would ask her whatever questions. And she was talking about plastic surgery being done in the K-pop industry, and of course she knows about that with her being an idol and everything. Mm-hmm. And she talked about, she knew how to identify types of plastic surgeries that idols get, and some of them are very natural looking and wouldn't really be noticed by the public. Let's see. According to Cheska, every K-pop artist in the industry has gotten plastic surgeries, and she named Lisa from Blackpink and Nayeon from Twice, and what was someone else? She also said Irene from Red Velvet as having gotten plastic surgery. And then she admitted that she herself got the double eyelid surgery because her management told her to.
Right.
So I'm not sure. She didn't say what kinds of, well, maybe she did say. I didn't look at her whole video, but the surgeries that she thinks that Lisa and Nayeon
eyelid surgery
and Irene got. But yeah, most likely that she's talking about eyelid surgery. That's probably the most common one. Mm-hmm. But I didn't see pictures of them really young, so I don't know like the before and after what that looks like too much. But I would probably believe what she's saying. Like,
I totally believe it. If you look at pictures of them when they were young, they look like they got the eyelid surgery. And if you look at most K-pop stars when they were super young versus when after they debut, most of them seem like they got it. Or not that specific surgery, but they got some type of work done.
Well, they'd have to do it before like 15 or 16 though, because that's when they start training for a group, right? Don't they have to get it pretty early on?
Look at Nayeon's like not her 16 stuff, but even before that.
Oh, from the show 16? Before. Yeah. So you think if she did it, it was before that?
She got it. I think she got some work before that, and I think she got some work after that. Honestly. Now, but the bigger thing to talk about here is why is it viewed negatively by people in Korea? Why is it a quote-unquote scandal? Why do fans of Twice, why do fans of Blackpink have to come and defend them? Like somebody's accusing them of like what? Child molestation or something, right? Mm-hmm. It's like all I'm saying is they got plastic surgery. For
Cheska, she's saying her management pressured her. Maybe they're thinking
first of all,
like they were pressured too.
First of all, there's obviously nothing immoral about it. If you want to get plastic surgery, how's that immoral? How is that wrong? I just do not understand. They want to get surgery. So? And then if your position is that, well, we only want naturally beautiful people. K-pop is admittedly a very shallow, very superficial arena. There are some people designated in a group that just designated as visuals or centers, right? What is that a euphemism for? That's just a euphemism for you're beautiful, you're attractive. Your role in a group sometimes is just that you're beautiful. That tells you everything you need to know about the values of K-pop. And I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not saying that's wrong. I like K-pop groups. I like the attractive K-poppers, just like the next person, right? But I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, well, but you can't get plastic surgery. in an industry that values appearance so heavily, of course people are incentivized to get plastic surgery. How can you fault people now for doing that when your consumption of it has incentivized it, right? Like if your consumption of, I mean, let's just make an analogy, like a sport. Like if you just want to see like really fast people run fast, you know, in track and field or whatever, and then some people are tempted to take drugs so they run faster. Hey, you know, they've been incentivized by the consumption of this thing to take drugs to run fast. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe it's against the rules, and we can always say in the case of in this analogy, in this example, okay, maybe that's wrong because in the Olympics you can't take drugs to run faster. But in the case of K-pop, there are no laws, there are no rules that said, hey, you can't get the double eyelid surgery to be more attractive. That's against the law. There's no law.
No, but you know what some people would say?
What?
They'll be like, why are you trying to say double eyelid is more attractive? How come regular eyelid isn't considered beautiful too?
Oh no, only the woke American people would say that. People in Asia would say it's more attractive because it is.
In Asia, they're like, fix that.
Yeah, in Asia they would say because it is. Why is your eyelid so flat like a board?
It's like you need a crease there.
Yeah, ugly. You know,
they're very blunt in Asia.
Yeah.
Like they will, like if one of them left their eyelid as is, that person would get so many hate messages.
Yeah. So I have no problem with that. I have no problem with you getting a surgery to conform to a very superficial industry. But what I do have a problem with is people who you're up in arms. You call it a scandal when people try to conform to the standards that you are imposing upon them. You know, I impose these standards too. I don't want my idols to be ugly. I don't want them to be fat. So, but if I found out that they had eating disorders or they did this to diet, to stay thin, and maybe they got this surgery, I wouldn't also then chastise them for doing those things to conform to my first expectation, right? Thank you. That's the fair bargain, right? If you don't want to do it, you can opt out at any time. You can go be an accountant and you can gain weight. You can do whatever you want, right? You don't have to get plastic surgery. That's fine. That's totally your right, your option, right? But it's really lame if I'm going to say, hey, I want you to conform to all these beauty standards. And then when you do the things that help you conform to these beauty standards, we say, oh, that's scandalous. Why are you getting plastic surgery? What are you talking about? They're getting plastic surgery to conform to the standards that you have set. How can you now complain about it? I find that really disturbing. I find that really
I think this idol that was talking about it, Cheska, I don't criticize her at all. I think it's better if it's more out in the open. And
I don't criticize her at all.
Yeah,
no,
she's getting a lot of hate,
I hate
messages
that,
or whatever.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of fans who are giving her hate. I was like, why are you giving her hate? Why?
She's just saying the truth.
She's just saying the truth. I understand that you're a Nayeon fan. Hey, she's my favorite in Twice too. But she had the eyelid surgery, guys. You can still appreciate her. Mm-hmm. In fact, you should appreciate her more. She had the eyelid surgery for you, for her career, right? That's what she did that for, you know, not just for you, but, you know, to further her career.
I do think it's their choice, and I'm sure if they didn't want to do it, then they would probably just quit.
If you don't want to do it, you can quit. Yeah, you don't have to be a K-pop star.
My only problem is, it's like they're very young getting surgery, and like you shouldn't just get surgery. Like that's a risk, you know, your life and being under anesthesia. That's always a risk. I just feel bad that it's like 14, 15-year-old kids.
Yeah, I mean, but that surgery is pretty safe though.
Yeah, and I'm sure in South Korea they've perfected it so that it's like so quick safe. And it's so, you know, goes smoothly. Yeah, apparently there was onces and blanks that got really mad that this was being talked about.
As a consumer, you are responsible for the fact that physical appearance is one job requirement, is one dimension of what it means to be a K-pop star. That is your fault as a consumer, by the way. How can you now say it's scandalous for somebody to utilize all the tools available to conform to that standard? I don't know.
I think a lot of people...
What does you get out of deluding yourself?
A lot of people look really natural, so it's easy to say, well, it's like, oh, it doesn't look like anybody got surgery.
But if you look at their kid pictures, then it's obvious.
The people that are more obvious, I feel like, are some people in SM, like some of the males. Like, they look very different than they used to look.
Yeah, and the other thing about SM males, they all look the same.
They must all go
It's
to the
very
same
obvious that they.
doctor.
Of course, they had surgery. They all
You think
probably had
Lisa?
some sort.
Lisa did?
Look at her kid pictures.
But she's Thai, so
Look at her. No, look at her kid pictures.
They might have had a double eyelid. You know what I mean? It's like
She
she's
didn't,
not
though, but she didn't.
automatically single eyelid.
I understand that.
Well, congratulations, because I can't even tell really. Like her and Nayeon and Irene, if they all did it, like you can't even tell.
They try to make it look natural.
Like if you look at them right now
Right.
and didn't really look at the
Right.
whole history of pictures, you couldn't even tell.
Unfortunately for them, the K-pop industry, generally their surgeries are like double eyelid and stuff, not like gigantic breast implants, which you obviously can't.
Right.
That's like you can't really hide that.
Or a nose, like a nose.
Nose, yeah, you can't.
That can really change your face. If
Right.
you got one, then it would be pretty clear.
I kind of think Lisa had that, by the way.
Oh, really?
She
Okay.
claims to not have. She claims that it's like all shading or whatever, but I don't buy that. The standards, the expectations are so high. So
Do you think anyone in BTS got plastic surgery?
Yeah, I do.
Who?
I think V and Jimin. They have like a very, I don't know. I'm just like throwing it out there. It's hard to say. But a lot of people have gotten it. Think about it this way. Why wouldn't you get it? Is there a reason not to get it? Like if it could help your career, why would you not get it?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to look better? That's dumb, right? Of course, you have no problem with looking more attractive. And if it's
Yeah.
going to help your career, think about it this way. You, from the age of 14 or whatever, have been working 12-hour days, and now you're 18, and you really need this career to work out. And someone says, well, there's a surgery that takes 8 hours that will help your career. You want to do it? What are you going to say?
Your
no?
company will pay for
Yeah,
it.
and what are you going to say no out of some
It's
sense
free.
of, no, I'm really attached to the way I look or whatever? No, come on. Of course you're going to do it.
I don't think anyone did, but if anyone did, I would think it was RM or J-Hope or Jimin. Like to me,
Why RM? He looks similar to when he was young.
he does, but he at some point he got a nose surgery, but it was for like a medical reason. But I feel like at the same time he could have done something there.
I think
if he
all
wanted
nose
to.
surgeries for medical reasons are total bullshit. They were cosmetic. How many people need a nose surgery for medical reasons? Everybody who gets a nose surgery for plastic surgery reasons always says it's like, oh, it's like I had a deviated septum. How many people have a deviated septum? That is a very rare thing, by the way.
Well, I don't know if it's hard to breathe or
Oh
something.
my God.
I'm just going by people that look more different than when they started.
I'm pretty sure a lot of them have had it. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think V did because, like, what would he get done? His nose is still like a big size. Like that's a prominent part of his face. So I don't think he would get it smaller.
Right. His nose is still not perfect.
Like
That's
it's
true.
good. It's a good proportion. Like so, you can't increase the size of your nose. So he didn't do that. So
No.
I don't think he would.
Well, he would need to
reduce it.
decrease it, if anything. His nose is large.
Yeah.
If he got, maybe he didn't, because his nose is large. If he got,
And he has like not symmetrical eyelids. So
Yeah.
if he was going to do something, he would have done something about that.
I'm sure a lot of them have gotten work, but who cares? Why does it need to be defended? And they should feel free to say, yeah, I got it. So what? That's the way I see it. Just like a football player wouldn't hesitate to say, yeah, I work out in the gym 5 days a week. So this is part of my
that's
job.
like American versus like Korean culture. Like Americans, like some of them admit everything they've done, but in Korea, no one admits anything. Like if they've got any kind of surgery.
The way I see it is they're trying to fulfill their job duties, which is a very noble thing. Koreans would even agree that that is a noble thing. They are trying to be the best at their job. That is what plastic surgery means to me. What's wrong with that? For whatever reason, having plastic surgery has become quote unquote scandalous.
Because South Korea is, you need to be perfect and you can't.
You have to be born perfect. I got
Yeah,
it. You know what that's like? It's like that film Gattaca. Gattaca is this old film where people are genetically engineered to be perfect. Oh no, that's not even like that though. Because like people are genetically engineered to be perfect. And they acknowledge that that's a good thing. This is even worse. This is a world where they expect you to be perfect, but they get angry at you for genetically engineering yourself.
It is like that because remember Jude Law was a genetically awesome guy, but then he like broke his back or something. And then Ethan Hawke took his place, but he was a natural born guy, and
he got work done.
Yeah, but he was flawed, but he had to hide that.
Right.
Because he wasn't a genetically perfect person, so he had to just hide that.
Right.
So he's like a K-pop star.
Right. And it's like he got the leg surgery done to make him taller, right?
Right.
And he got some other stuff done to make him look like one of the chosen genetic few. But then you're not really one of us, so we look down on you. Just watch that movie. That movie will tell you everything you need to know about why this viewpoint is wrong.
Yeah.
Right there, like the idea that there's a purity test, this genetic purity test, is dumb.
Like you have to be perfect, and you have to be born perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to ask that people be perfect and meet a standard. Okay, fine, you have a high standard, but now they can't even avail themselves of the technology to make themselves perfect, to meet that standard. That is asking way too much. People have to be able to use those tools to meet your standard. Otherwise, it's just not fair. It's not reasonable. I think that's what most people would say. So anyway, watch Gattaca. Good movie.
You'll learn an important lesson.
It's an old movie, but it's a
K-pop.
good movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. Yeah, Gattaca has a lot to do with K-pop. It has to do with we want everybody to be beautiful and good and everything, but hey, God forbid you use plastic surgery. Why?
You use other means to get there.
Yeah, like what? You have to have the DNA. Why is that so important to us? Right? If you found out today that Lisa had a lot of surgery and she looked like a spindly, sort of uglier Thai girl, but now she's, Lisa from Blackpink, does it bother you? I think that maybe for some people, they think, oh, well, if you weren't genetically born this way, you're not deserving of our adulation, right? Like, you don't deserve all of this stuff. And my response would be, the hell they don't deserve it. Did you work 14-hour days? Yeah. Did you go under the knife? They did all of this stuff. You don't think that that's hard work? You don't think that that's painful? You don't think that's a sacrifice? You don't think that that is difficult? It is. This is all a sacrifice. This is all difficult.
And they don't even talk about it or complain about it. And so you can't even know the whole story behind it. So you just have to appreciate the end result.
Yeah. For you to say that, well, it's not, you weren't born that way genetically, therefore you don't deserve it. So does the hard work mean nothing?
It's not a shortcut just to
get
surgery on your eyelid. That's not like automatically your number one K-pop star.
It's not. All I can see is people working hard to conform to the standards and expectations of an industry. And I'm not even saying those standards and expectations are wrong, just like the standards and expectations of the NFL. I don't think are wrong. Like, they expect you to run fast and play hurt, and a lot of really abusive things that happen to your body. And your K-pop stars are no different than an athlete. They had to put in a lot of work to make it seem like they can meet all your expectations effortlessly. That's what I found interesting about this story.
Speaking of Nayeon, her stalker, who even though he went back to his country, he's still causing issues. Just recently, someone on Instagram posted about how the stalker was in a conversation with some person. They recorded it, and the stalker talked about how he and Nayeon might die soon if she keeps ignoring him. And Nayeon is currently killing herself and is pulling him with her by ignoring him. So the people took that as, oh, that's a death threat because he's still talking about her. And
I'm not sure it's a death threat, but it sounds really psychotic and scary. Right. So did he say this like on a YouTube or?
It sounded like someone had a private conversation with the stalker and they recorded it and then they posted it to Instagram and spread it to other people so that it would be out there. I don't know why the stalker would be talking to this person. Maybe he thought it was his friend or something. Maybe. But and then this person sent this to the attention of JYP, so that way in case they need to know anything else about
good, more evidence that he's a psycho. Well, yeah, that sounds super disturbing. That sounds, borderline threatening. I don't know what they can do about him because he's a German citizen. He's in Germany. As long as he's in Germany, it's okay, right? Because he's, like half an entire world away. But what can you do? I mean, they have no recourse. They can't go into Germany and execute him or imprison him. I'm pretty sure that he can, in Germany, just say crazy stuff like this, and it's not against the law or anything, but at least they know about him, right?
Yeah, I'm sure JYP is fully aware.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good that he's at least not in the same country.
I would read that as a quasi death threat. It's not like exactly a death threat, but it was very troubling.
He's clearly...
It is almost a death threat.
He's still obsessed with her. It's like, you couldn't talk to her while in Korea. You need to go back to Germany and do something else with your life, and hasn't moved on yet. He's still talking about her to random people.
Clearly he does need help, but I'm not that concerned about him needing help, as she just needs security.
Yeah, and the good thing is he's dumb, and he posts like everything he does on social media.
Well, he didn't post this though.
No, but he posts all sorts of things on his Twitter and Instagram, so people know when he's going to places and what he's thinking.
An idiot. I mean, he wasn't an idiot as far as which bias he chose, but he's an idiot for everything else.
Yeah.
Oh, if you wanted to be like there's smarter sayings than him. They don't like get so much press, right?
Yeah.
They just quietly go about their creepy stuff.
You shouldn't make a spectacle of yourself if you're gonna be a stalker.
I mean, let's be real. There's other people like this guy, but they just don't get the press.
They operate in secret.
Yes, he just went about it the dumbest possible way. I'm gonna draw as much attention as possible.
And it sounds like everybody on Twitter or Instagram is keeping track of everything he does. So if he ever says anything crazy, it's going to be reported. Right. So
what an idiot!
But it's his own fault because he made himself known.
Hopefully, he realizes the error of his ways. I don't think there's any legal recourse. So hopefully, he just grows out of it.
There's a rumor going around about Blackpink possibly being part of Lady Gaga's upcoming album, Chromatica.
Oh yeah.
And the rumors come from supposedly some insider on the Lady Gaga side, and there's some sort of forum where people were talking about this. This insider said that Ariana Grande and Blackpink are featured on Chromatica, and then some people on this forum that has a bunch of music insiders were saying that this is true. People think that there's evidence to support this because there's social media that they're seeing, like, okay, Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga followed each other. Ariana Grande is liking all of the Lady Gaga updates. Kind of same thing with Blackpink. People liking other people's things, like that proves something. Like, I don't know if that's evidence, but...
Yeah, I don't know if that's evidence either.
And because they're saying Lady Gaga's executive producer for her album is following Blackpink on Instagram. It's like, well, maybe that producer just likes Blackpink.
Possible.
That doesn't mean that they're on the album.
Right. My take on this is I'm happy. Not for Blackpink, but for Lady Gaga. Because I've liked her for a long time, but I really, really dislike her. And I can't even call it recent turn, because it's been about like 6 years now, where she has been doing the whole 80s rock revival thing. I don't know what she's doing, but I wish she would go back to like the Bad Romance. I know this is super old. I know this is like 10 years old or whatever, but this is the sound that I like from her. I also like her singing standards with Tony Bennett, but I know that nobody else likes that. It's very obscure.
Yeah. I don't expect that to be
I don't expect that to be popular with people.
That's just going to be an album like that happens like every 5
the thing
or
is,
10 years.
I wish she would go back to that. And if she collaborated with Blackpink, I have to imagine that means she's going back to that. Because Blackpink is not doing any sort of 80s revival rock sound.
Right. They're more like dance music.
Yeah.
Like K-pop is like dance music.
So that's what she's going back to. And that makes me happy. I would like for her to do that. Thank you. But
and then YG's statement was that they had a really like funny statement. It's like, we're working on a lot of things. It's information that is still hard to confirm at the moment, so we would appreciate it if you wait for the official announcement.
Oh,
so they're not saying, oh, it didn't happen, or they're not working together.
Right.
They're like, just wait. They're like, this might be happening.
Let's see what they're saying.
Because Before that statement, I had thought, well, this is just something that YG is just floating out there. Maybe they're hoping Lady Gaga works with Blackpink. Like maybe they're trying to start some buzz or something.
True.
So I didn't think there was any evidence for it happening until YG's like weird statement, which made it sound like it is happening. We just didn't want to announce it yet. We want it to be more of a surprise.
Right.
That's what that sounds like.
I have to remain skeptical because Blackpink doesn't do anything. They don't release stuff. But maybe if they were tied to a collaboration with an American label, they would be forced to do stuff because American labels do actually do stuff.
Yeah, and it would be more of like an external pressure. It's not YG, oh, you got to be in the studio on this day and this day. It's like, well, Lady Gaga is saying you need to record by this day. If you want to work with us, you need to do this.
Right.
You know?
I hope they do it.
Yeah, I hope so. That would be good.
I think it would be awesome.
Did you like Stupid Love, her song that just came out?
I didn't.
I actually didn't like it at first, but now I like it. I kind of
okay.
did a 180 on that.
Okay, sure.
Because
I still don't like it.
I do think it has a pretty good beat, and it is.
I don't like it. It still sounds 80s to me. I don't like it.
More similar to the era that I like than I thought it was. I kind of didn't want to pay attention to it because of the weird costumes in the video and all that. But
I didn't even watch the video. I still don't like it.
I think the video influenced me, but when you just listen to the song, it sounds pretty good. It reminds me of the earlier Lady Gaga. Hopefully whatever she's doing with Blackpink is going to be good. I think we would like it.
She's probably not doing anything with them. It's probably just a lie and a ruse.
You think YG is just saying?
I don't think Blackpink is actually working and doing stuff.
Well,
I'm sorry. Is that not? That's just a default assumption now. Blackpink is not doing anything.
They're in fashion shows. They're endorsing things.
That's not working. That's not making music. So I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it, right? And I think that's a fair stance for anybody, given the track record. We should all just believe it when we see it. So yeah, it would be good if it happened, but I'm not holding my breath.
Thank you to our guest, Morgan. You can find BTS Happy Hour on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. New episodes weekly. Please comment, review, or rate on the podcast platform you're using. Follow us on Twitter @OurBTS. Until next time, this has been BTS Happy Hour. Thanks for listening, and remember, make every hour a happy one.